Morning everyone. Today we're gonna take very important issue, that is how to select a right test, how to choose a right test for your analysis. So whenever we define hypothesis, definitely we need to prove it, we need to disapprove the hypothesis. For that we need to use some test. So whether it's a t-test, ANOVA, chi-square, correlation or regression. So on what basis we have to take these cases, we have to use these cases for hypothesis testing and for analysis of our work, whatever data we have collected. So today we're gonna put light on this issue, and before that let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Pushpender Kumar, working as associate professor, and I am expert of research methodology. So on behalf of the Crodimal College, I welcome you all, everybody. And here you can see the title of the discussion today, how to select test for analysis. So whenever we think of selecting a test, it's not only the test we need to consider, but beside that some other criteria, some other things we need to consider. What are these things? For example, we need to discuss what are the different types of independent variables we are taking, what is the dependent variable in our research, and beside that, what is the level of measurement, whether it's a nominal, ordinal or scale. And third, very important point which we're going to discuss today, what is the main objective of doing your research, in terms of whether it's a kind of descriptive research, or you want to see some kind of, you want to explore something, you want to see some kind of relationship, or you want to see some kind of differences, or you're looking for some kind of prediction on the basis of one variable, how other variable get affected. So before we discuss it further, let me put some light on different things we're gonna cover today. So here we have the main title which we're gonna discuss today, how to choose the right test for the analysis. And then we'll talk about, as I mentioned, that on what basis we need to select right test. Is it just, you have collected data, and now on the basis of review literature, you feel these tools and techniques are fine, these tests are fine for analysis. But before that, you need to decide that, okay, this is one first criteria. What is the level of measurement in your research? So first criteria we will discuss in detail, that on the basis of level of measurement, you can decide that this test you should use for your analysis. And beside this, here you can see not only the level of measurement, we need to talk about different types of variables, whether it's a dependent or independent variable, how many independent variable you have taken. So that we will talk in detail, because if you don't understand level of measurement, types of variable, you wouldn't be able to use your right test for the analysis. Now here we see one more point which is very important. As I mentioned earlier, uh, the third criteria would be that on the basis of research objectives, the research objective would be you want to describe something, or you are looking for some kind of relationship between variables, or you want to see some kind of differences among variables, or you want to see the kind of prediction or kind of cause effect relationship. So that we'll discuss today. So, and finally we'll discuss on the basis of these level of measurement, types of variable, research objective, these three criteria. If you understand these three criteria, then you will be able to justify that why you are using correlation, why you are using regression, and why you are using t-test or ANOVA, right? And it would be very specific, that in which situation we should use t-test, in which situation we should use ANOVA, and regression, correlation, so on and so forth. And finally, other things we'll consider I haven't mentioned here. So it's gonna be a kind of discussion, very important discussion, where we will learn how to choose the right test for the analysis. So here you can see the first discussion. So let us start with the concept of selecting a right test for the analysis. So first, as I mentioned, first step would be that you need to understand level of measurement. So what is this level of measurement? We'll discuss about it. So first criteria that we will discuss in detail. Second step, when you think of which test you need to select, which is the right test for your analysis. Here you can see second criteria on the basis of your research variables that we'll discuss in detail. And third, very important step before you go for selecting right test, that on the basis of your research objective. So these are three bases or three criteria we're gonna discuss in detail. So we start with step one, and the step one is basically on the basis of level of measurement. So what is this level of measurement? It's not only the nominal. We have three main criteria under this step one. So first, you all aware of what is level of measurement. Here you can see we have nominal scale, we have ordinal, and then we have internal and interval and ratio data. Nominal, you all aware of that it's about recognition or identification of particular thing. For example, gender male and female, we can give 1 to female, 2 to male. So this is kind of coding. So here 2 is not more than 1 or 1 is not less than 2. So here and it's very clear that male cannot be female and female cannot be male. So this is a nominal. Then we want to see that yes, uh, something should be more or something should be less. So it could be low, medium and high. And then finally interval and ratio. Interval where actually a real zero does not exist. In ratio, a real zero exists. Interval, for example, just think of temperature. At zero level, do you really feel that at zero level there is no temperature? Actually, we have defined at this level temperature should be zero, but actually it's not a real one. So it's an artificial kind of zero. Another example could be the wall clock. Just observe a wall clock. Have you ever seen that zero come in between? So interval is 2 points in between. A lot of things can fall. So that we will discuss in detail when we'll talk about level of measurement. And then ratio finally, where actual zero comes. For example, profit may be zero, right? So revenue may be zero. So that is about level of measurement. The second criteria under step one, we need to see when we have collected this data, what about parametric test? Is it a parametric kind of information? Or for example, if you use nominal data, it's not a parametric, right? You need to go for scale. That will help you to decide that okay, when you use scale data, it's a parametric test. Then you need to see whatever data you have collected, it's a normally distributed or not, and you need to take care if there is any outlier. So you need to remove that, otherwise it will affect your research. Then we come for manipulation of data. Are we manipulating data here? Because manipulation of data means, or transformation of data means here, that you are giving some intervention. So if you're giving some intervention, for example, you give some training to employees and then you want to see the performance, right? So that would be a one manipulation, that would be a one intervention. Now let us go to step two. After this measurement, level of measurement, the second criteria need to understand it in detail, and that is on the basis of types of variables. So what kind of types of variable we have? You all aware of first variable. What is variable? It's a dependent and independent variable. We in parametric test we do research. First what we need to do, we need to find out which one is the dependent variable, which one is the independent variable. For example, Intelligence. Intelligence is a dependent variable, and independent may be gender, maybe education, right? So gender may be male and female, one independent variable. So this we need to define which one is your dependent variable and how many independent variable you are taking in your research. So dependent variable could be employees satisfaction, employees performance, employees engagement. So if you take example of employees engagement and employees performance, you don't know which one among them is dependent and which one is independent. So you need to describe it that it would be a dependent variable. How to measure dependent and independent variable? So dependent variable, we use scale data, and independent you use nominal or ordinal, right? So third, very important, as I mentioned, how many dependent variables and how many independent variables you are using. So independent variable, you see that when you want to see a relationship, you have a lot of variable which affect your, for example, intelligence is affected by maybe the education level, maybe income of a family, maybe there may be a lot of variables which affect your intelligence level, right? So that is a dependent variable and independent variable. So we need to define before you go and select a test for your analysis. So how many independent variable you have taken, and clearly mention that this is my dependent variable. And then the third criteria, third step, as I mentioned, what is the research objective? Research objective in the sense, whether you're gonna describe something or explore something. So that we're gonna discuss now. Here you can see the first very important thing that, as I mentioned, you have criteria whether you are going to describe something. For example, you're describing a particular college, that in this college we have number of rooms, number of student, number of male, number of female. So this year, last year, last year, so trend, you can show a trend that this college has this kind of trend in past 5 6 year. The girls ratio is increasing or boys ratio is increasing or decreasing. So you can describe that. So simply it's very simple. Whatever you observe as it is, you represent that this kind of phenomena is there, this kind of data is there, this kind of information is there about a particular phenomena, maybe college, maybe school, maybe any other event. Then you want to see some kind of relationship between two variable. For example, as I mentioned, employees performance and employees engagement. So what kind of relationship you see when you see employees relationship, employees performance, when you consider in terms of employees engagement? So do you think that employees performance increase when employees engagement is more? So is it a kind of positive relationship, negative relationship, or no relationship? Now let us see, there is another part of this second part. You want to see the, is there any, can you predict that intelligence level, let's take another example, intelligence level will increase or will decrease because of some other variable. For example, you teach mathematics to students, do you think the intelligence level will increase, right? Or you teach some other subject which will help to increase their intelligence level. So we can predict that yes, if you teach mathematics, his or her intelligence will be increasing. So if there is any change in particular variable, how it gonna affect your dependent variable? So that would be the prediction. And then very important thing in step 3, we want to know, is there any difference between the groups? For example, group class A and class B, the performance of a student in class A and class B, or within the group, that okay, we see we see that because of meditation, there is a class of meditation, one class only, section A, before and after, what kind of changes has come in the personality, in the motivation, in the inspiration, in the overall general personality of our students. So this is you need to describe before you select test, whether you are going for describing, you have a describing kind of research, or you're gonna have some kind of relationship or prediction, or you want to see relationship differences between or within the group. So let us move further, and here you can see uh, we further discuss it about describing. So describing, as I mentioned, what you need to follow, you need to understand, very very important thing. When you describe, actually you are identifying a pattern, describing our characteristics, that these many people, these many classroom, this kind of greenery, I mean everything you show, and you show some pattern that over the period of time, or this is a pattern existing right now, male female, teacher ratio, these are all things you can. I'm taking example of college. And the second, very very important, when you describe what happens, you use descriptive statistics, central tendency, you remember we discussed mean, median, mode, range, right, standard deviation. So we are limited up to this descriptive statistics. And then basically you're describing the characteristics of participants, their education, maybe you can describe their income, you can describe this is their income. So you're describing actually a participants, and then you cannot manipulate, you cannot give any kind of intervention, whatever is there as it is, you cannot make any changes in existing information, as it is you want to describe. So it is the describing one. Now let us go further about the second one. As we mentioned that we'll talk about a relationship or prediction. Here you see the relationship or prediction between variables. So first, when you think of relationship, it's involved investigating the variable as it is without any experiment. So here you're not going to make any experiment. You want to see a relationship, correlation between two variables, right? So it's a kind of relationship, no intervention, no experiment you are doing. But when you predict something, here it's a cause effect relationship, and here you are looking for some kind of a prediction that on the because of this, if this has changed this much, the other thing will also change this much. So here we use regression. Here you see the difference between relationship and prediction. When it's a relationship, you want to use correlation. When you go for prediction, you want to use a regression. So two tests we have discussed till now, that these two tests actually correlation and regression. So this is a basic understanding. If you understand this basic concept of correlation and regression, relationship and prediction, then you can further go and use this correlation and regression. Now let us go for the third, the objective of research. You want to see a difference between and within the group, right? So let us see, and or within the group, let us see what we are going to discuss in this. So here you can see difference between or within the groups. So first, difference between groups. So here we have independent groups, section A, section B, and you want to see the difference between these two, right? And then you have difference within the group, as I mentioned, same subject, and you want to see is there any improvement, is there any difference before and after. And the next, different using the same subject, participant in different group. So here if we club together the first and the second, it would be the third one. For example, uh, in the second one, you I can discuss in detail. I hope next we can see. So start with first, then it will be more clear to all of you. So first, here you can see everybody looking for difference between groups. So step one, looking for difference between groups. So it's so you will be using one-way ANOVA in a situation when you want to see a difference between two variables, uh, between two independent variables. Is there a difference in intelligence? So intelligence is your dependent, and between science, commerce, and art groups. So independent variables here you can see three groups, right? So when it's a three or more categories, right? Here is three streams I have taken. So you can take any three variables. So in that case, you're gonna use one-way ANOVA, right? So it's for difference between groups, right? Here next you see we will use independent sample t-test when there is a difference in intelligence level of two groups. So here two categories. In one-way ANOVA it's a three or more than three. In independent sample t-test it would be only two categories. Here I have used, you want to see the intelligence across male and female categories. Here you can see. So I hope this is now clear. So whenever you want to see a difference, if it's a three or more categories, we use one-way ANOVA. When it's an independent, when there is just only two categories, it's we use independent sample t-test. Now second, looking for difference within the within group or same subject. So in that situation here you can see same people before and after, right? Same people before and after. So you give some intervention and you want to see that. And here, for example, performance of employees before and after training. And then here you can see, does training improve employees' performance? So you have given one intervention in terms of training, and here you want to see does training improve employees' performance or not. So here you see fourth one, it's about when you use this before and after kind of research. So what you need to do when it's a paired, it's a the test you will be using when you have before and after, it would be paired samples t-test, paired sample t-test. And when you go and you have when you have three or more right variables, in that you will be using ANOVA. Here also you will be using ANOVA. So it would be here the situation would be that people would remain same, the participant would remain same, and we will be making some kind of intervention and we want to see before and after. And here you can here before and after just two situation, right? But there may be a situation that we want to see the impact of yoga or meditation after 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months. So here we have a three, or you can go beyond. So when we have three or more, we use ANOVA, one-way ANOVA, right? So this is now I hope clear. Now let us move further. The third, very very important, this is going to be a very very important, listen carefully. Here you can see we want to see a difference with different groups using same subject. So it would be a kind of combination of one and second. How it gonna be a combination of first and second? Let us see here. So first, before training, so there is one thing before and after training. So before training you want to see the performance of employees. Second, whose performance? The male performance. Then after training you want to see the performance, so that was before and then after. Whose performance? Not only male but female also. So here you see we have two situation before and after, and we have two variable male and female. So earlier it was before and after for gender, overall, not bifurcated into male and female. But here we want to see the impact of training before and after across male and female. So it's a 2 by 2 here you can see. So whenever this kind of situation occur, let me give more light on this. Here you see performance of male employees, performance of female employees, it's a other way of defining the same concept. So this is after the training, and this is before the training. And here you want to see the male and female, across male and female impact of the training. So in this case, whenever we use this kind of objective, whenever we want to check this, we use two-way ANOVA. So now we have used correlation, regression, independent t-test, pair t-test, ANOVA, one-way ANOVA, and finally here is the mixed ANOVA, right? It is called mixed ANOVA also. So I hope now we have learned about all possible ways which we need to consider to use a different kind of test. So these are the different kind of tests, but before you go and use this test, you need to understand these basic three criteria. What are the level of measurement, what are the dependent and independent variable, and the third, very important, what is the research objective? Is it describing or finding out relationship or prediction, or to see the differences among variables? So thank you very much everybody for joining me, and we'll learn a lot. We will talk about each and every concept in future. I'm making more and more this kind of video to make you understand that okay, this is basically a basic kind of concept we all must understand to conduct research further. If you don't understand this basic, you wouldn't be able to understand which tool you're supposed to use when you go further in your research. So thank you very much, and we continue. And I request you all, here you can see my YouTube channel, Pushpendra Kumar Surya. You can subscribe it for more learning about research methodology. Thank you very much, and we'll continue in next sessions.